everyone, welcome back to Kirsty Colouring Sketch. A couple of weeks ago now I put a poll up on my channel on my community tab just asking which book you'd like to see me do my next colouring chat in. So the vote was put out to all of you and the verdict was this book. So this one is The Circle of Life. So you all picked this one and I've just picked this vulture page here. I don't know why I was drawn to it. It's just, I don't know, something about it. They're not the most beautiful creatures, but yeah, there was just something about it. I really wanted to do it. So I thought I'd do some watercolouring today. So I'm going to do it with watercolour, and then once it's dry, I'll go in with details with pencil over the top. So I thought that would be quite fun to do today. So first off, I'm going to be using this Decadent Pies set from Prima Watercolours, and I'm just going to be using this green shade which is called Kiwi. No, it's called Key Lime. Key Lime. So I'm going to be using that, and I'm going to be going in on all the background areas. So it's going to be quite fiddly. I have just got, I'll show you what brush I'm going to use. I'm going to use this Princeton Neptune size 4 round watercolour brush. It's a beautiful brush. So we're going to be using that one. So I've already pre-wet these colours and I'm just going to wet it a bit more. I'm going to pop a lot onto this palette. Add some more water. There we go. Get it going a bit. Might have to add more because it's going to take me a while to get this page sorted. Right, I'm going to put it on this side of me because I'm left-handed. So we'll pop it over there and put the palette out the way for now. I've got a cloth at the side of me as well. I always have an old dry cloth to dab my brush off so it's not getting too wet. So where to start, where to start? Let's get you zoomed in as well so you can see a bit better. Is that okay there, do we think? I think we're in shot. It's nice when you have these circular images. So I'm going to start right at the top here. So, what have you all been up to? I just filmed yesterday my first live stream in 2 weeks because of the Easter holidays. So that was fun. So if you ever do see me pop up as a live stream, do come and say hi. Because I do love it when there's lots of people there to talk to. It's my time when I get to chill out and socialise a bit with you all. So it is going to be fiddly around all these branches, but it would have been fiddly with pencils as well, I suppose. If you've not got this book and you're wondering what the paper is like, if you've got any of Kirby Roseanne's books, it feels like the exact same paper. It's the same publishers, and I do feel like it's the same paper, and it does take watercolour really, really well. You can hear emergency vehicles just going past my house. Again. You know, I managed to live stream yesterday and not one went past. That's the first time ever yesterday that ever happened, because normally I always get 1 or 2 in my videos without fail. This is really, really fiddly. Yeah, so I live streamed a page from Anastasia Ella Caldereva's new book, The Amarantine. I really, really enjoyed it. I did a bit of the hair. Well, no, I did all the hair on the stream, and then I finished the rest of the page off camera. But what I found out, because I've never had any of Anastasia's books before, and I found out they don't like water. They really don't like water. I was gutted. I didn't ruin it too much because it was just a little tiny bit in the background that I did. But I barely put any water on the page, like barely. It was barely even a damp brush that I used. And the paper just soaked it up straight away. It was like a suction. You could see it happening before your eyes. It just sucked it all up, and then it would just immediately dry, and you couldn't blend it. It started to warp straight away and go straight through the paper. Oh, horrific. So yeah, if you're new to Anastasia Ellie Caldereva's books, do not use water medium in them. Do not. These books, however, are brilliant for water medium. I'm just glad I didn't try and do something else like the main image or anything with the watercolour, because that would have ruined my book. I think I would have been very upset if I'd have done that. Yeah, I wish I'd have got her books sooner though. I've waited the longest time because the shipping's always been horrendous. And it still is horrendous, but I just bit the bullet. I thought, I've wanted these books for the longest time. Just, you know, treat yourself. Just get one, you know. So I'm really glad that I did. They're beautiful books. Just stick to dry mediums. It's quite nice to get the pastels out though on the backgrounds of them. I do like my soft pastels, my pan pastels, and even distress ink, as long as you don't wet it. Just keep it light. I really love this colour in the Prima watercolour set. It's the Decadent Pie set. This key lime colour, it's really pretty. Thought it'd look quite nice in the background. So I always, nine times out of 10, I've said this before, 9 times out of 10 I start with the background with an illustration. I just really feel that once the background's filled in, it takes a lot of the intimidation out of it, because it doesn't look like you've got as much white space and as much to do. I've always done the backgrounds first. It's very rare if I do the actual illustration first. But this one needs to be filled in. It's very fiddly. Very fiddly. Just going around all this outer edge. Doesn't matter if we go over any of these petals a little bit, because your pencils will go over. I probably will be going over those with a darker colour. Not sure what colours yet. I've just been referencing pictures of ultras. So hopefully I've got a good idea of what I want to do with that. So what's everybody been watching on the TV? Any box sets? Any series? We've been watching The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which I'm absolutely loving. Because before that, the last series we watched was The Mandalorian, which, brilliant again. And before that was The Witcher. So I'm waiting for the next Witcher. I want it to come out now. But yeah, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier is really good. Been enjoying that. If you like anything Marvel, you'll like it. To say it's fiddly this though, I think it's probably quicker to do this with watercolour than pencil. I know you have to be careful, and you can erase pencil. But I think this is quicker. I think this was the quicker option. I've seen some beautiful colour palettes that people have done, and you just wouldn't think of, well, I wouldn't. I don't think of putting outlandish colours onto a page. Like somebody did a all purples in a sort of landscape image, and you wouldn't have thought of doing purples, but it looked absolutely stunning. And I'm just thinking to myself that I'd like to go a bit more out there with colours, as in grass doesn't have to be green, you can do purple grass, you know, things like that, to really make your pages a bit different. But I'm not brave enough. I always think it's gonna look ridiculous, hence why I've gone for a green for the background of this, because it's like the forest almost. That's the vibes I'm going for. Forest, trees, greenery. I don't know what these petals are supposed to be on the tree, whether it's a sort of blossom type tree, whether it's leaves. I'm not entirely sure. A bit too much water there. Let's get my brush wiped off and drag it out. Yeah, maybe I'll go a bit out there with the branches. Maybe I won't do brown branches. Maybe we should do a different colour branch. We'll have to think about that when I've filled in all this space. So I think after I've done this page as well, I think I'm going to start another page from the Charles Santor Alice in Wonderland. I was looking at all my books on the shelf, thinking which ones I'd not coloured in for a while. Because I do find myself, I don't know if you feel the same, sometimes I find myself colouring in the same books over and over, and there's quite a lot of books that's just been abandoned. One of the prompts on Colouring Chat with Sammy's checklist challenge is colour an abandoned book, and I've got an abundance of abandoned books. I mean, when I first started colouring, I said to myself, well, there's no way I would buy a colouring book and not colour in it. There's no way. What would be the point in that? That's just silliness. And of course, I must have about 5 books that I've not coloured in. So, tut to me. Naughty. How many books have you not coloured in? Let's see what the average number of uncoloured books is. Comment down below how many books you've not coloured in at all. Not even a whip. Because I have got one book where I've got one whip in it, and that's it, and I've never been back to it. And that's another thing I said I would never have as well, whips. I've not got too many, got a couple. I'm going to add some more water into this mixture here because it's just drying up a little bit and I don't want it to be too concentrated. Tap my brush off. Bit too much water, just drag it up, there we go. Just going into that area again, just so it's not going to be going a bit patchy. I will probably be going in with a deeper green pencil as well, just to put some shadows into this background somewhat in certain places. These brushes are really good though, they hold lots of water, these Princeton Neptune. I'll link them down below. If you use any of my affiliate links, I do get a tiny little commission from Amazon. Get that bit in. I like colouring birds' wings. I don't know if you find that, like this bit underneath here I'm going to really enjoy. I'm just looking forward to it right now. I don't know what it is about it. But animals in general as well, I like colouring. Like the Tim Jeffs books, I really enjoy those. I like referencing my picture and picking out the right colours. I find that a lot easier as well than trying to pick your own colour palette. If you're just picking the right colours of an animal, like the realistic colours, and then going off that. Takes any too much choice away from you. I'm still not sure what colour I want to do these leaves, if they are leaves. I don't know if the petals are leaves. Get in there. Concentration. Just a bit there. I think we're halfway through the background now on the home stretch. The background home stretch. I think my window cleaner's due today. Might have to stop filming if he knocks on the back door. I have a padlock on my back gate, so when he comes he knocks on for me to open it. And he always says to me, is it that bad round here that you have to padlock your back gate? I'm like, yep. Anybody just walks into your garden these days. Tries to, opportunists who try to steal things. It's better just to be safe than sorry, isn't it? Luckily, we've never had no problems with being on a main road, and it's very well lit as well. We have a street light right outside the house, so it's really lit up all night. So I think that deters people. There you go. I really love this colour. You can see though now when it's almost filled in, it's to call that intimidation away of all that white space. All you've done is gone over with a bit of watercolour and it looks so much more manageable. I think that's what I'm going to do with these pages, or some sort of soft pastels, distress inks, just something to put a big base of colour down first. I'm just going to move this over to that side now while I get over here. I've got squeaky shoes. I've got some, well, my partner bought me some Doc Martens boots for Christmas, and they do nothing but squeak. I've done the baby powder trick where you put the baby powder under the tongue, and it works for a week or two, and then you have to put more baby powder on. They just squeak, squeak, squeak every time you walk or move your foot. It's the only thing that irritates me about them, because I love them. I do love them. Apart from when I first got them, they gave me blisters, but once you get past those, that part, and break them in, yeah, blisters on the heels of my feet where they was rubbing the back of my foot. But I do love them. I do love them. Just be prepared for pain before pleasure. Not good for summer though, I have to say. It's coming hot weather now, and I probably won't be wearing them for a good 4 months, probably. Now you can see in areas where some's darker than the rest, but I'm not too fussed about that. Like I say, I might go in with a bit of pencil later on when it's all completely dry, but yeah, I'm not too fussed about that. It doesn't really bother me too much. So what's everybody been ordering? Have you got any new supplies, any new books? Are you planning on pre-ordering anything? If you didn't see it already, I did do a little video with a snippet of books that are set to be released. I didn't put a lot on there. It was literally just about 10 books that I'd found out about. And then people were kindly commenting in the comment section of books they knew of, which was really, really nice. So yeah, because I didn't know apparently there's another oh, who's the artist? I forgot his name. Let me have a look on my shelf, see if it can jog my memory. Oh, Alan Roberts, is that his name? Alan Roberts? Beauty of Horror books. Yeah, apparently he's got one what you can pre-order now, another new one. But I'm gonna be honest, I got his last book and I've not coloured a page in it yet. So I don't think I'll be getting the new one, because I've not even coloured in the last one. It's bad, it's terrible that, isn't it? Terrible. They do intimidate me a bit though, those pages. I'm not quite sure what to do with them. I sort of got it on a whim. I don't know if it was around Halloween time, but I sort of got it on a whim and took a punt on it, but I'm not sure it's my sort of cup of tea, and that's why it's been abandoned. Maybe I'll do one for the checklist challenge. A prompt. Right, I'm going to take the green up to just here, because it looks like it would come just here. Because it's not that defined line here, it sort of goes off on its own tangent. And let's take a step back and see if we've missed any areas, because that's my best trick. And of course you're probably all screaming at the camera, but I can't hear you. The bits I missed, and I've spotted one. The tiniest little bit here. Teeny tiny. Is there any more? Oh, right there. Look at that. Look at that. See, there's always something. There's always something. Let's have another step back. Guarantee when I put this paint away, I'll find a little spot when it's all dried up. But the good thing about watercolour is that you can reactivate them. Just spray it with some water and you've got your colour back again. Like if this dries up on here, I can just add water to it again. So yeah, we'll say that I've got everything for now. And I'm gonna have a look at what colour to do these wings. I think, have I got my swatch chart for this Decadent Party set? Let's have a look. Which one's that? Pecan, pumpkin. Pumpkin. I'm going to use pumpkin and pecan. Pecan is going to be a little bit at the bottom of here, and the pumpkin I'm going to do on the top part of the wings. So let's see, let's get these wet. I'm going to use the same brush and just wet them. So I'll put one colour here and I'll put the other colour there. Does anybody else like to use watercolour or mixed media on the page, or are you somebody what prefers just all pencils? Do you prefer your marker pens? What's your go-to supply for colouring in your colouring books? I think mine is definitely predominantly pencils with some sort of soft pastel or distress ink background. Occasionally I'll do watercolours, normally a watercolour background if I'm honest. I normally like to splat on the watercolours in the backgrounds of things. That's a really rich colour, look at that, really rich. Look at that, let's add some more water to that one. Try and get it a bit looser. So I've got quite a lot of colour mixed up there now to use. So I'll pop that there, wipe my brush off on the towel, a bit of wash. So I'm going to go in with the lightest colour first on these parts of the wings, and I'm just going to base it all over because it is just going to be a base coat this, because I am definitely going to go over with pencils on this bit. So this is just literally filling in to make it easier for myself. I'll probably be using my Faber-Castell polychromos again because I'm really enjoying those pencils, really. Just dab my brush off. It's better. There we go. Move on to the other wing. Spread it all out. It goes a long way, this watercolour. This number 4 size brush is perfect for anything like this. It's the perfect size, or I find it to be. I don't like ones that are too big for little details like this. Obviously, if you're just doing your watercolouring in a sketchbook on watercolour paper or anything like that, you can use your bigger brushes. But when you need little detail areas like this, this number 4 is perfect. Like I say, I'll link it down below, and I'll link the palette, watercolour palette I've used down below as well. So again, I'm going to put some of this colour on a little bit of these wings down here. It's harder to see on this one because the wings aren't spread out, but I'm going to take a guess at this section here being that colour. It doesn't really matter, does it? But there we go. And here, my belly's rumbling again. I don't know why, I've just eaten. Always does it to me. You know what I didn't reference actually, what colour this little tufty bit sticking out here was? Might have to pause the filming and go and have a look and come back to you. Or maybe it's similar colour to what I'm using. Maybe a bit paler. What do we think? Yeah, I'm gonna go in with the same colour for its body, I think. And then I can always put some other shades in with pencil, if you know what I mean. Yeah, go for that. We'll bring some other browns and things in with my pencils. Now I'm going to add a bit of water to my brush just to really lighten up the colour what I've got on my brush to go over the head, because the head is a sort of beigey colour. Or the one I referenced was. Oh, get that off. Not sure what colour the beaks are. Right, so I'm going to go in with the other colour that I mixed now, which is the pecan. So it's this darker shade here. And I'm going to go under these wings here. I'm going to initially put the dark pigment there, and then I'm going to pull it through to the ends, so hopefully it gets lighter at the ends. But we shall see. Like I say, I'm going in with pencil anyway, so I can always create the depth with pencils. So I'm going to wipe my brush off in a minute and then just drag that colour to the bottom. If you need to add more water, add more water. Yep, need more water there. Just water, no pigment, just water to pull the lightest colours towards the end. There we go. And the other side. I am really tempted to do those branches like pink. I don't know why. It's a bit harder to get to this side with my left arm. Oh, we've gone over a bit. Let's just get that blended out. So that's the dark colour at the top. I'm going to wet my brush and pull it downwards. Try and get rid of that line. I think this side might have a bit more of a gradient than the other side. Maybe, no, maybe the same. Let's have a look at the situation. See, it's fine, totally fine. I've put loads of water down there and it's not even gone through to the other side or anything. It's absolutely brilliant, this paper. So again, you can see that these are the same wings under here, so I'm going to do the same down here. I'm going to dab my brush off and then pull it down to the bottom again. And again on the other side. There's a little wing here. wipe my brush off and pull it down. I'm going to put a bit more dark at the top here. There we go, that's that bit done. So I'm going to wipe off my palette now so I've got room for other colours that I want to use. Just wiping it with the dry cloth that I've got here. It's a quick fix. There we go. Oh, you know what? He's got some little... I don't know what colour to do those feathers on his back. And then there's some feathers down here coming from the bottom. I'm going to leave that for now, I think. Oh, no, I'll have a look at my Arteza palette, actually. So this is the 36 set Arteza. And there's some more brown tones in this one, as you can see all along the bottom here. So I'll have a little gander at what I've got here and see if there's anything what I want to use. So I think I'm going to use a sort of brown for this on his back here. Maybe possibly something like this one. Don't know if that'll be too much red tone. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's too much red. I want more like more of a brown. Let's see what this one is like. Yeah, I want that one. Let's add some more water to it. I need to clean off this palette, it's very dirty. Do you clean your palettes directly after you've coloured something, or are you like me and just leave them all? Leave them all muggy till next time you come to it and then you're like, oh, nowhere to put my paints. Nowhere to mix my colours. So again, I've just gradually pulled it out to a lighter shade at the bottom because what I'm going to do is go in with pencils in the same sort of way, darker at the top. And I'm going to do the feathers down here as well in a light browny sort of shade, very light like that. Try and work out what's branch and what's feathers here. That's his fault. That I have no clue what that is. No clue. Unless it's part of the branch. Yeah, we'll go for that it's part of the branch. I'm going to do his nose in this brown as well, his beak even. But I will be adding, I'll just do it at the bottom because I'm going to put a bit of pink at the top. Just take some of that water away, it's a bit much. I've only slightly just put a bit of pigment on. You can barely see. There we go. So I am going to be all brightly coloured, and I'm going to do a base of brown for the tree stump. I'm going to go in with a brown. And again, there's some really fiddly bits of these branches. They're really, really tiny. You know what? I've just spotted some of that green that I've missed. Oh, that's annoying. Where is it? I've lost it again. Just here. See here? That's in between the branches. You've got a branch there, branch there. That's the green bits. Let's see if I can get that in there before I lose it again. There we go. See? It's always something. Always, always. Let me just flip my camera and put my plug in before we end up going off. It's the only thing with my phone. It's constantly low battery, because I film from my phone, you see. Right, so let's just go in. Let's just go in with this brown. Let's just go for it. Where should we start? Let's start here. Ooh, fiddly. Why did I decide to go in with the watercolour on this again? There's his claws. I need to be careful of. That's his foot. That's the branch there. He's got some feathers under there as well that I've missed. So after I've done this page as well, because I've done quite a few real-time things now, that I will be putting on a couple of time-lapsed things. Like I say, I'm going to do a mix on the channel because I don't always have the time or the quiet house to do a real-time. It really just depends. And for darker at the bottom on the big roots. Darker for the big roots. Lighter for the little ones. I hope you can't hear my washing machine in the background. It sounds like it's going to take off. I don't know what's going on with it lately. Anybody else washing machine sound like it's going to take off? Oh. Being a bit sloppy there. If you do go over, you can just get a bit of water on your brush, make sure it's clean, and just try and lift it like that with a clean wet brush. Like I said, it's very fiddly. I don't know why I decided to go in with watercolour on here, but hey ho. I've decided I think I'm going to do those petals a nice bright colour. I don't want them green. So they are going to be petals, not leaves, I've decided. It's my colouring book. They will be petals. Pink petals. To match the pink beaks that I'm going to put in. I'm going to put some pink into the beaks. These branches are just going off in every single direction. There we go. So has anybody got anything exciting happening? Are you going anywhere? Got anything planned? I've not, as usual. Let's darken this bit up a bit. At the bottom. It's a bit better. Get some more colour mixed up. I've missed so many spots with that green. I've found another one there. The green should be there in the middle. I told you I'd look back on it and find everything. Fill that in a second. Oh, helicopter, I can hear. I always think the camera can pick up on all these little noises, and 9 times out of 10 it doesn't. But I always feel like I have to announce what the noise is. I hope you can hear them birds though, that's a nice background noise. Oh, so much water, Kirsty. See how easy it is to just rectify it when you do it though. Just want to deepen that up a bit. I'm gonna go in quite a bit darker under where he stood, just so it stands out from those feathers that we did. And add some water and drag it down. Oh, wipe that off. Won't wipe off because to be a finger. So what's everyone working on at the minute? What colouring books are you colouring in? My partner picked a page for me in the Fragile Worlds ages ago, and I have 2 copies of Fragile World, so I started one of them, really messed it up, this page that he wanted me to do. So luckily I've got another copy in my other copy of Fragile Worlds, but I've not had the courage to start that page yet, and he keeps saying, what about the page I picked out for you? What about that page? I just keep looking at him like, It really intimidates me though. It's the is it the gorilla page or the ape page from the Fragile World? It really terrifies me. I think it's just because I messed up the first one. If I hadn't have messed it up, you know, then I wouldn't be feeling so scared about starting it again. I think that was just a letter what came through my door. I don't think he knocked on then. Not like yesterday. He made his my postman made his debut on my YouTube without realising it. You could hear him clear as day on my channel because I was live streaming at the time. So I went to the door mid live stream and he went, "There's parcel there for you, love." And then when I watched my live stream back, you could hear him really loud. It's funny. I've left the heating on downstairs and I'm hot. So hot, but it was chilly. It was actually chilly this morning. Like, the teachers told us to send sun cream in a couple of days ago and now it's just gone cold again. That's the British weather for you. You don't know whether you're coming or going. Go and buy a load of sun cream and then it starts raining. Sod's law, isn't it? I'm just going to do the petals with pencil. I'm not even going to attempt to do any of that with watercolour. It's just going to be too tiny. Too tiny. Just trying to deepen up some of this colour. There we go. Let me take a step back and check I've not missed any of them branches, which I have already. Down here. Let's scan the page. That must be part of the I've not got a clue what that is there. It must be part of the branch because it's not a feather, that, surely. It's a branch now. Right, I'm going to go in the centre of here where I missed with the green. Hopefully I can still get some pigment off there. There we go. Right, I think I'm just going to crack out the pencils now. I think we've done all the watercolour. So, just wipe my palette off here with my cloth. Close it up. Close that one up. And let's get some pencils on it. So I'm going to get my polys out. Let's have a see. I've got my swatch book as well so we can have a look at what colours they are. Oops, just dropped a book. Right, so I'm going to do some shading on the vultures first. So I have all my little swatches here. I'm going to put a little bit of probably salmon on the top of the beaks. So I'll just do that first. We'll try and find it. 130 salmon. really should have them all facing so I can see the names and numbers. Will it be one of these? I'm not familiar with these pencils yet. Not quite familiar. Because up until now I only had the single stock, about 20 pencils, something like that. So any more pinks? Ah, here they're at the back. So it'll be one of these, won't it? There, salmon. Right. So I'm just going to bring you in. There we go. I'm going to put the tiniest amount of salmon. This is 130. Tiniest bit just at the top. And fade it out. And I'm going to do the same on his feet. I didn't reference the feet. I referenced a picture, but I didn't take note of what the feet and the beak was like, so I'm just assuming. If I'm wrong, it's my own little colouring, so it's in my own little world, that's what colour they are. A little bit on his nose. So that's that one. Then I'm going to use a little bit of this Pompium red, I think. Let me check the swatches. Where is it on here? Yeah, a little tiny bit of that I'm going to use. So it's the Pompium red 191, and I'm only going to use a light pressure. Sorry about my camera. I'm going to use a light pressure just to put some on his face. A little tiny bit randomly around his head. And fading off into the feathers and neck. And again on these two. Oh, I'm dropping everything off the desk today. Very clumsy today. And on this little guy. And the little footsies that I missed, I'm going to do them a bit darker. That's that. Now I'm going to find some nice browns to put some shading in here on these little wings. Let's have a see. I'm going to get my swatch book back out. Let's have a look at what browns we've got. So what's going to look nice here? Bring you down, sorry, you're out of shot there. So I'm thinking like the brown ochre would be a nice colour to go over the top of this one as a deeper colour. And then what could we use for here? None of them are really matching in well. Let's see, maybe the Caput Mortem for this bottom bit. Yeah, that looks like a good sort of match for a deeper colour. Yeah, we'll go for them too. We'll go for the Caput Mortem and the brown ochre. Problem is I have to find them now. Brown ochre, Caput Mortem. So that's brown ochre. I think the Caput Mortem is sort of got a bit of purple or red tint to it, hasn't it? Or is that just me what sees that? So it might be on the next set of pencils actually. What's that one there? No, that's not it. There it is. It sort of looks like a sort of purple tinge to it on that barrel. So we'll start off with this one first, the brown ochre 182, and I'm just going to start off with a medium pressure at the top and then into a light pressure, so it's deeper at the top in colour and lighter at the edge of the wings, feathers even. When you've put a base down or something as well, like watercolour, the pencils just glide over the top. Like they go on so much easier. You don't need to press as hard to get the colour down. I'm very quick as well with when I go over with pencil. It's very quick and easy. That's what we like. Quick and easy pages. Once you've spent so long putting all that watercolour down, you want the quick pencil work, don't you? So that's that one, so you can see the difference insides there. So I'm just going to come over the top this way so I don't get my big hand in the way. It's a perfect match for going over that colour of watercolour as well, this pencil. So the petals, how I said I was going to do them pink, I'm going to do them quite a vivid pink because I want them to really bring the page out. So I'm going to go in with a really sort of hot pink sort of shade. And you're all probably shouting saying, but the leaves, they're not petals. Well, the petals now. I'm not sure what they are, but the petals now. Bright pink petals they're gonna be. Oh, I've got some gorgeous steam puddings in the fridge. Chocolate sponge steam pudding, which I'm gonna pop in the microwave when I've done this. Yummy. I like an apple crumble as well. I'm partial to an apple crumble with custard. Right, I think we've got all the wings section of that where I want it to be. I'm going to bring some different tones into his belly. Similar, but slightly different. So I'm going to move on to these two down here and put the shading in on these ones. Oh, my partner has been glued to the telly as well, like a crazy person over the last couple of days about all that football stuff that's happening, all that uproar about football stuff. I don't even know what it is. I do not even know what it is, but he's been glued to it. Absolutely glued to it, going crazy. It's that one. Gone quiet again, I do apologise. Got the proper concentration mode going on today. I keep going silent. I'm not even realising I'm silent. I'm just enjoying my little self. I'm just in my own little colouring bubble right now. Right, so I'm going to go in and shade this part of the wings now with the Caput Mortem Violet 263. That is the one I wanted, isn't it? Let me just check on the side of here. Yeah, it's the one I want. So these are bigger wings, bigger sections. I'm going on, yeah, can't get my words out. I'm only going in with a little tiny bit, still leaving this bit of colour at the bottom of it, if that makes sense. So you start off with a medium pressure at the top and then lift off to a light pressure almost immediately. And just have the really dark bit under there, under the wing. Again, it's a really lovely colour to complement that palette that I've put down, that watercolour that I've put down. So I don't know whether to put another poll up for my next colouring page or just roll with something spontaneous. What do you reckon? I think it takes it out of your comfort zone sometimes. If you put some random books up and then somebody else has the power to decide which one, it makes it easier to colour the page, if that makes sense. Because you can talk yourself out of doing pages sometimes. But if you know that somebody else has picked it and they want you to do it, then you do it, don't you? It's easier to do it that way. I think my big hand's gonna be in the way here. Left-handed problems when you get over to this side of the page. A bit more darkness in the corner up there. I'm looking at them petals now and I'm thinking, I may even do them with gel pen, like a metallic-y sort of pink, or a glitter pink, or is that too outlandish? Do you know what I've just spotted as well? I'm going to pull my hair out. Look at the top of there. I've not even done them branches. Oh geez Louise. What am I like? That's getting the watercolours back out again now. I don't know. That's his feathers done. Now this side. bet you all spotted that as well, them branches that I've missed. I bet you've been shouting at the computer, but unfortunately I can't hear you. I bet you was. I do it when other people colour things and miss things, and I'm like, oh, I wish I could just shout in and tell them that they've missed a bit. Right, where's that pans? Set of pans. Let's just get it filled in before I forget again. Where's my cloth? Oh my word. Anybody else miss things so badly like this, or is it just me what doesn't have an eye for finding the details? Let's bring you down where I just fill it in real quick. Without fail. Can't have a shaky hand for this business. Well, I have got a shaky hand. Is that some green I've missed out as well? Some more green by any chance? There is a tiniest little bit of green that I've missed. Let's get it. Just right here. Hopefully, fingers crossed, there's no more bits I've missed. Fingers crossed. I'm just going to do these little feather bits under here. I'm going to do them with this brown ochre pencil, 182. So I'm just going to base it first, go all over it, and then I'll pick out some darker little bits. And we'll do that. Beautiful. Now I'm just going to find another brown, slightly different tone to what I've just used, but not too different, just for on here for a bit of difference. Where's my sketchbook? Sketchbook? Swatchbook. I think I need to go and make myself a coffee. What do you reckon? Might use the nugget. Yeah, the nugget. That's a nice light brown. Where are you, nugget pencil? And I'm just going to put in only a few little poppets of this colour throughout randomly again. Don't know whether to do those petals in pencil or gel pen now. Ooh, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? You can see what I've done on the body now though. I don't think there is none of them down here, but I am just going to put a little bit of this colour on these little feathers here. Only on this little one. Like that. Now I'm going to find my black pencil, because without a doubt if I don't do this bit now I'll forget about it. So I'm using the black 199, and I'm just going to do his little nails. As you can see, he's got his little toenails. Because guarantee I'll forget about them if I don't fill them in. Guaranteed. And there's some down here. That's that. Right, let me look. Yeah, let's go in with a pink. Let's go crazy. Let's go in with a pink glitter gel pen on those petals. We're gonna go crazy. I'm gonna bring you out a bit because you can't really see the whole page. So there we go. Yeah, I'm gonna go in with pink gel pen. Why not? Why not, hey? Make it pop. Make it really pop. It's very quick as well with the gel pens. Very quick. These Arteza ones are fab as well. Shout out to these Arteza gel pens. 18 glitter gel pens. They're absolutely amazing. They're on par with the Pentel Hybrid Dual Metallics. They're fab. Ooh, I love that. I love how that's popping off the page. And it's going to sparkle when I shine it in the light as well. Bring some glamour to these little vultures. Some bling bling. I can hear a seagull outside. Right, I'll start over this side just because I don't want to smudge it. If I start on this side and go over, I'm just gonna smudgy smudge. I'm the biggest gel pen smudger as well. Just like, without fail, I will smudge a page I've put gel pen on. So keep your fingers crossed for this one. Oh dear. I'm excited to lift this up when I've done it all and see the shine on this gel pen. If anyone ever colours along to anything I do as well, please either tag me in the picture or send me a picture that you've done via email, because I'd love to see them. Yeah, I'm kind of glad I decided to use a gel pen on these. I think I would have been sat here for another hour trying to do this in pencil and shade them. They're teeny tiny, as is everything in this book. There is some that are a bit larger, but the majority have got a lot of detail, small details in. I can see a few itty bitty bits that I've missed out with the green as well, that I thought was petals that isn't. So I'll sort that out when I've done this. Down here. I'm ready for some lunch. It's about dinner time-ish here. Lunchtime, should I say. We call it breakfast, dinner and tea in the north where we are, but down south they call it breakfast, lunch and dinner. So the dinner bit confuses me a lot when people say I'm having dinner and they mean tea. Well, to me they mean tea. So I do find myself saying lunch just so that everybody in the world understands that I don't mean my tea at dinner time, if that even makes any sense. I think I can see a tiny bit of shine picking up on camera already. I've not done that bit and I've gone over there. This is the smudging that I'm gonna do now. Just put my hand right up there. What am I like? I'm looking at the vulture's eyes now and I'm thinking, do I want to do anything with the eyes or should I just leave them? Because they are really, really tiny and to be honest, they're already filled in. There's not really much I could do other than put a more prominent highlight in with a white gel pen, but I think I will just leave them as they are. Nearly done, guys. Sorry if I've been a bit quiet today. I've proper had my concentration colouring on. I've just been enjoying it. You know when you go into your own little world and you just all chilled out and you just colouring away and forgetting that, yeah, you're actually filming. You need to actually say something, Kirsty. But yeah, I've just been trying to relax, just having a little relax and enjoying it in my own little world. So I'm going to get a little bit more of that green watercolour out in a minute just to go through. You might be able to see teeny tiny little bits. I think there was round here, there's one there, a little section there. Just to get them filled in. think that's all the petals. I'm going to take a look back in case I've missed any petals as well. It's sod's law, isn't it? Right, let's have a gander. I don't think I have, so I'm going to get that green watercolour paint out now and just go into that little area where I've missed. I think I've got a little bit left on my palette, see? Because I knew I would miss bits. I knew it. There's a bit just here. Where was the other? There's a couple of little gaps. And there it was. That should have been green as well. Why did I do that brown? I don't know. I think that is it. I think so. I just need to put some shading into these feathers down here. So I'm going to use this colour that I had out earlier, this Nugget 178. I am just going to sharpen it a little bit more. The sharpener that I use is this Swordfish one. I find it really good with the majority of my pencils, but not the Prismacolors. It really does eat the Prismacolor pencils up. So I wouldn't recommend Prismacolors in there, to be honest. Right, let's try and not smudge this gel pen here. So I'm going to pop my hand right in the centre there. Just where I add a bit of colour into these leaves. Again, oh, sharpen too much. Again, I'm just going to start off with a medium pressure at the top and then lift off towards the end. I'm going to try. It's hay fever season, guys. I've not taken antihistamine. A little bit on this feather. There we go. Now all I'm wondering is, let me bring you out. There's another emergency vehicle going past. Whoop whoop. All I'm wondering now. Oh, look at that shine. Look at that gel pen. Woo! I like it. Now I'm wondering whether to leave it like that or put a tiny amount of green soft pastel blended out around the edges. I think I'll do that just as a last minute little thing. What do you reckon? Or should I leave it? Should I leave it? No, I'm going to put some soft pastel on. Just because I like marling. I like marling with everything, don't I? Can't just leave things alone. So I'm going to get a piece of paper just to put here, scrap paper. I'm going to use just this, just like a light green. I'm going to scrape some of it off. If I can find my craft knife, which I can't. I will just rub it straight on then. Wipe this off. Just cleaning off one of my sponge applicators. I didn't want to do that though. Oh dear. Let me see if this one's can be cleaned off. Yeah, we'll use that. So I've just got a bit of green. I've just directly gone on and rubbed it from there. Just because I can't find my knife. But normally I would use a craft knife and scrape some of the pigment off the soft pastel. Oh, that really complements that watercolour. That's really nice. Just to bring a bit more of the colour out over the whole of the page. Any of that, what's just gone on there, can just erase. Whoops. What's this looking like on camera? Is it picking up? It's get it into the wings. Just take that off there because I made that mistake once where I ended up with a tagline. I left my tag on and gone round it with, was it Distress Ink? Might have been Distress Ink. And then I only realised after when I took the tag off and I had a big rectangle on the page. It was so funny. There we go, I like that. I really like that. It's quite pretty. You would have thought you can make vultures pretty. So obviously in my own time I will spray that soft pastel so that it doesn't rub off. But yeah, that's it finished. I hope you enjoyed watching this. It was a little fun one. Watercolour, bit of bling, bit of glitter. Please do hit the thumbs up, comment down below if you followed along, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.